Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Wednesday afternoon yoga, midday yoga these days. This is our second session of the summer term, and we're looking in these sessions to develop a little bit more stability and strength so that we can feel that confidence in our own movements and in our own power throughout life. So let's begin today just with a little centering. Hands onto the thighs, wherever is comfortable for you, and feel the parts of the body that are in contact with some support. So that is the soles of the feet, palms of the hands, or the backs of the hands perhaps, and the buttocks or sit bones. And allow those areas of stability and support and grounding to provide you that I'm going to say stability and support again, so that you can grow the spine upright. Just feel that inner sense of lift. Closing your eyes or gazing gently downward, taking a moment to step away from the other things going on around you and come into your yoga space. Notice if just doing that mental stepping away allows you to begin to soften tension, stiffness, holding, maybe easing your breath slightly as well. Notice how your body's feeling right now before we begin our class. Notice those quiet, spacious areas that feel at ease, and areas of the body that feel perhaps a little bit stuck or stiff or tense. Remember to take care of anything in the body that feels discomfort. Notice the breath that you're breathing right now. Notice its pattern, its rhythm, its rate, or the movement of your breath in your body, or the sensation of the breath in the nostrils. See if you can further soften the features of the face, the jaw, tongue, shoulders. And then gently deepen your breath by engaging the navel and exhaling more fully. And then breathing deeply into the sides of the body, the back, the chest. Exhaling a little more purposefully, engaging across the navel, exhaling completely. Breathing into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Allowing your exhale to be slow, long, complete. Allow your breath in to fully expand into all of the space available in the lungs and the torso and the chest. And keeping going with this rhythm of breath, this deeper breath, which allows us to draw in a little bit more prana, energy for our practice, creating a vitality in the mind, a little sparkle in the eyes, no doubt. And then when you're ready, you can bring your chin to your chest. Your breath can stay long or fall towards a natural rhythm. And then rolling your right ear towards your right shoulder and chin back to chest, left ear to left shoulder and chin to chest. Let's keep going side to side. Just feeling the connections between the sides of the face, the neck, the chest, the shoulder, the back. And if you want to, you can make circles with your head, just not too big. Don't take the head too far back. Find a movement that feels good, doesn't feel like it's causing any tension or holding or gripping. And if you're circling, you can go the opposite way, or you can choose a different movement that feels useful. And then when you're ready, bringing your head back to center, we're just going to release the arms and roll the shoulders a few times in each direction. A few times backwards and changing a few times forwards. And at this point, we're going to stand up. So if you're ready, coming up onto your feet, you might want to push your chair to one side, just making sure it's out of your way so you can stretch your arms out to the side a little bit. Feet nice and wide apart, softness in the knees, firmness in the belly, and a gentle twist from side to side. So we're just starting this movement. It doesn't need to be our fullest twist, it's just beginning. And then as your twist becomes a little more expressive, perhaps the hands touch the opposite hip behind you, the opposite shoulder in front, and perhaps you move your feet as well. And that way we don't get stuck at any point in our pelvis, so the knees don't feel any tension. And that twist can go all the way across the top of the foot, from the big toe, across the ankle, up the leg, across the hip, to the opposite side of the body. We're going to add a little dip in the knees, only if you want to. And as I said at the beginning of class, we're going to be focusing on building that strength, increasing that strength so that we can rely on our legs, rely on our propulsion from the legs, a little bit in our balance. And even if you don't have time to do any other yoga in a day, try doing this once a day, particularly with this soft bounce in the knees, because that will help to activate those bigger, larger muscles across the legs and buttocks that help us with the work that we're going to do today. So when you're ready, you can let the bounce go and just simply twist from side to side. And then bring your feet to steadiness and sway back to steadiness, stillness in the middle. And as you come to stillness, take a moment. Notice where your weight is in your feet. Is it in your heels, in your toes, the balls of your feet? Is it centered? Can you bring it to center without doing any more than becoming aware of where you're standing? Are you standing on both feet the same? And when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. So we're going to try and keep our weight centered across both feet the same. Your feet can be slightly turned out if it suits your hips better. Turned in is not useful, so let's avoid that, but straight or turned out is fine. Little softness in the knees, again, that encourages our larger muscle groups to fire for support, and you can focus on perhaps just engaging the buttocks a touch. We don't want to tuck the pelvis under, but just engaging the buttocks where they are. So if you put your hands on your buttocks, you can give them a little rub, a little soft massage there. And notice if you give them just a gentle tap, are they feeling engaged or are they feeling soft? So you can straighten the legs and do the same. Perhaps they soften. And then a little soft bend in the knee, you might feel them engaging. So we just want to increase that sense of engaging just a touch. Not gripping really hard, just switched on. Fingertips onto the shoulders. And we're just making circles with the elbows, keeping that engagement in the low body, little lift in the belly muscles, and gradually increasing the range of movement in the circles of the elbows, so that the elbows begin to come towards each other in front of the body, and behind the shoulders as they drop down. If they go in that general direction, that is enough. Excellent. And as you do this, perhaps you can feel that engagement in the back of the body still. We'll go the opposite way as well. So every time we sit down, we put the buttocks particularly into a relaxed, lengthened state. And so sitting down for long periods of time can lead to a weakness in those muscles. And they do so much to support our bodies. It's good to activate them if we can. We're going to draw the elbows down to the sides, relaxing the arms, maybe just wiggling the shoulders a little bit, left and right. And then I'm stepping away so that you can see me on the screen. We're going to reach the arms forward and connect either the fingers or the wrists or the elbows. I'm going to turn my palms upwards, but if you're connected at the wrists, you don't have to, or the elbows, it's fine. And then here, lengthening up the sides of the body, little softness in the knees, little engagement in the buttocks, lift in the belly. And we're just going to draw a circle around our bodies with our arms over the head or in that general direction. So here we're trying to keep the lower body quite still and move from the upper body. And in that way, we develop that sense of stability and strength. Let's go the opposite way as well. And here we're also just getting a little wriggle through the upper body, the sides of the body, which is lovely as well. We'll do one more in this direction. And you can do this sitting down if you prefer as well. Separating the hands or the arms and letting the arms drift down to the sides. And when we do, we're going to swing the arms backwards and forwards. Opposite or both at the same time if you prefer, just whatever works for you. Very good. And again here, see if you're doing opposite arms, you do a little twist here from side to side, but we're going to try to keep that stability in the center, in the belly, in the buttocks, in the legs, and then soften the shoulders. So the shoulders and arms really relaxed here. Very good. And then make your movement a little smaller and smaller until you're back to standing steady. Excellent stuff. So I'll step in again. Now I don't have my hands over my head. Hands onto the hip scales. Softness in the knees. We're going to roll our hips around. So it doesn't matter if you roll your whole body or if you roll just the hips. We're going to do both anyway. So I'm going to start with rolling my whole body because it just feels good right now. And then the opposite way as well. So rotating in the other direction. And notice if you're feeling any sensations where the legs join into the pelvis or where the spine joins into the pelvis. And then from our center doing the opposite kind of rotation. So if you were very mobile in the last one, now we're going to try to keep the feet and the chest more centered and roll just the hips. And this again is one of those things you can do pretty much every day that helps to fire those muscles. So if you focus, you can even take your hands onto your buttocks as you do this. If you focus on the feeling that you get in the buttocks, you can feel one activate, then the other. One and then the other. We're going to go in the opposite direction as well. So you can feel it's mostly in the forward motion that they're activated, but they also support as the bottom comes behind the body as well. So just noticing what's firing and when. And if you have your hands at the front, you can sometimes feel your belly muscles, these deep transverse abdominis muscles firing as well. That's excellent. Coming back to center. Hopefully that wasn't too wiggly, too much wiggling for you. Excellent. So we're going to do a little side bending as well while we're here. And so the feet a little bit closer together. They don't have to be, but for most people, a little bit closer together is good. And I'm going to step back again. So here the legs are straighter but not locked straight. We're going to lift the left arm up, breathing in, and then breathing out as we reach over to the right side. Inhaling back to the center, change arms and reach over to the left. Inhaling back to center, exhaling over, firm in the belly, firm in the buttocks, inhaling back to center and exhaling over. Let's do one more to each side. Inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And then gently coming back to center, just relaxing the arms down. We're going to do a very similar movement, but rest our hands here on our rib cage. So here, if you rest your hands here with the fingertips pointing forwards, the thumbs can be behind the body if that suits you. That doesn't suit my thumbs. I like to keep them pointing forwards as well. And just here, see if you can feel as you draw your abdominal muscles inwards and upwards. And then, so you feel the activation of those muscles. We're going to try and keep that activation, not really, really grippy or really, really strong, and come to center and then gently bend to one side and return to center and bend to the opposite side. So again, trying to feel at the sides of the body what's happening. If you press your fingertips a little bit towards your body, you might feel these oblique muscles down either side of the torso working as you bend from side to side. And it's important for us to know when our muscles fire and to have that sensation of activating them when we need to. Come back to center when you're ready, just relaxing the arms, rolling the shoulders a little bit to release any tension from the back of the body as well. So we're going to sit down now to do a little stabilizing exercise for the pelvis, and then we're going to stand up and see if we can do it standing as well. So coming to sitting on your seat. I'm afraid that today's class is going to be a little bit up and down. We're not starting standing and then coming down. We're going to be sitting up and down a little bit. So here we're going to sit as firmly onto this, as much onto the seat as you need to feel that support underneath the sit bones and perhaps just the tops of the thighs as well. So a little bit further back perhaps than you're used to. And we're going to keep the right foot on the floor and raise the left leg up, but press the left hand down at the same time. So it will look like you've lifted your left foot away from the floor, and we're going to keep that very active, a little bit of activity here in the belly muscles, and press the left hand down as we lift the left thigh against that press down. So we want to try to keep the left shoulder a little bit relaxed as well. And if you want to, you can reach your right arm up into the air at the same time. You don't have to, but you can do if you want to. And then gently relax the left side down, relax the right arm down. We'll do the same thing to the other side, and we're going to come back and do this a few times, so it's no problem. So to begin with, lift the right foot off the floor, press the right hand down into the thigh, lift the thigh back against it. It should almost start to set your shoulder up, but you're going to relax your shoulder down. And raise your left hand up, and we're holding firm in the belly, breathing, not holding our breath, and then releasing the right foot down, left hand down. Let's do that side to side. We're going to hold for a breath in and a breath out and then change. So lifting the right arm up, lift the left foot up, press the left hand down, deep breath in, relaxing, deep breath out, firming the belly, and then releasing down. Changing sides. Lift the left arm up, lift the right foot up, press the right hand down, deep breath in, firming the belly, deep breath out, and releasing down. One more to each side. Lifting the right arm, lift the left foot, press the left hand down, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then one more time on this right side. Lift the left arm, lift the right leg, press down, deep breath in, deep breath out, and release. And as you release, just give your wrists a little bit of a shake out, because we can create a bit of tension through the wrists as we press down. And we're just going to wiggle our arms a little bit as well. Why not? Roll your shoulders if you want to. Excellent. And just notice how your legs are feeling. So this time we're going to press the standing foot down at the same time. So we're doing a very similar thing, but we're pressing the standing foot down. So if you lift your, let's see, I can't remember which foot we did first, but we're going to do the left foot first this time. Why not? So we're going to lift the left foot up, press the left hand down, press the right foot down as well. So we're stabilizing down with the right leg, lifting the left leg up, pressing down with the left hand. The right arm can do whatever it likes. For a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and then just release. Same thing on the other side. Lifting the right foot, pressing down with the right hand, pressing down with the left foot as well. So really feeling the engagement of all of those muscles in the left leg that help to support the pelvis when we're on one foot. And releasing down. One more time to each side. Press down with the right foot, lift the left leg, press down with the left hand, hold as you breathe, and release. Press down with the left leg, lift the right foot, press down with the right hand, hold as you breathe, muscles back, and release. And just gently relax the arms, relax the hands. And we're going to come up and give ourselves a little wiggle in the hips as well. So standing up, and we're just keeping the feet nice and whatever feels wide apart for you, for a little shimmer from side to side and a little wiggle from around as well. So this helps us to release any tension, which might be in the hip flexors, might be in the sides of the body, it might be in the buttocks or the low back, from that nice firm action that we had. So let's try that wiggle in a downward facing dog as well. So coming to the back of your seat, walking your feet away, a little softness in the knees. Imagine you're pressing your hands down into the seat as you lengthen your tailbone back behind you. And then with that softness in the knees, just swaying the hips from side to side. See if you can lift the belly muscles a little as you do. And maybe dipping one shoulder and then the other as you bend one knee and extend through the opposite leg. So a little twisting dog here. Very good. And then come back to the center, and we're going to look towards the seat and walk in. And we're going to counterbalance our downward facing dog by simply taking the hands to the back of the body, feet relatively wide, rolling the shoulder blades together to open the chest. Keep that support in the back of the body, firmness in the belly. Draw the elbows towards each other behind the body if you can. Look up and then gently release. Aces. Fantastic stuff. So let's go through a little standing spine wiggle, and then we will see if we can do some flirting with squats. Flirting with squats, why not? So for our standing spine wiggle, we've got the feet a comfortable distance apart, a little softness in the knees because it helps us move our pelvis a bit more. And then we're going to bring the the palms of the hands towards each other in front. Reach the fingers away, chin towards the chest, scoop the belly in, maybe tuck the tailbone under, and then draw the elbows back as we open the chest. Reach the arms back behind you with the palms turned upwards if you can. And then bring the palms of the hands towards each other, chin to chest. So we're exhaling in this position. Inhaling as we draw the elbows back and the palms open. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Feel the belly working. Inhaling, opening the chest. Exhaling, feel the buttocks firing. Inhaling. And exhaling. Let's just do one more inhalation. Inhaling. And then relaxing, turning the arms down, floating the arms to the side, wiggling anything that needs wiggling, giving our legs a little bit of a wiggle as well. Okay, so we're flirting with our squats. And the first way that we can do that is using the chair for support, facing onto your chair with your feet comfortable distance apart. They can be slightly turned out if you want. And all we're doing is centering our weight over the center of the feet. So feeling that you're not too much in the toes, not too much in the heels. Keeping the chest lifted, belly engaged, buttocks engaged, and simply bending the knees to a comfortable depth. So we want to keep the heels on the floor if we can, bending the knees as much as feels comfortable, and then pressing back to standing. So we're bending the knees as much as feels comfortable, pressing back to standing. Bending and standing. Last one, bending and standing. Excellent. So if you like this one with the chair for support, then you can do this one. But if you'd like to try this without the support in front of you, place yourself in front of your seat. So you've got the support behind you. And that means that if you come down and you just get a little bit too low, all you have to do is sit. No problem at all. So you don't need to be afraid of that. Yeah. So we're doing a very similar practice to the one we did holding onto the chair, but this time we're going to do something with our arms as well. Just give me one tick to close this curtain, because now that the sun's come round, or come at all, it's affected the light. There we are. Okay. So for this one, as we bend the knees, we're going to reach the arms forward and the buttocks backwards. And then we're going to come back to standing. I'm just watching you guys on the screen. So a little firmness in the belly, firmness in the buttocks. Bend the knees. Imagine you're passing a beach ball to someone in front of you. And then use the arms coming back to the side as a little momentum to come up to standing. Bending the knees, reaching the buttocks backwards as we reach the hands forwards. The back stays nice and long. And then coming back to standing. This time, if you can, reach that beach ball all the way over your head. So bending the knees, reaching up instead of just forward. If you can, stick the bottom out a little bit more, and then use the arms to bring you back to standing as well. We want to feel it in the legs too. We'll do 2 more like this. Bending the knees, reaching up, sitting a little bit lower if you can. Firm in the belly, firm in the buttocks, press down into the feet to come up to standing. 1 more, bending your knees. And then coming back up right to standing. Excellent stuff. Just relaxing the arms to the side for a moment. Little wiggle, wiggle through the sides of the body, wiggle through the hips if you need to. That's no problem. Wiggle through the shoulders. And then this time we're going to just, let me have a practice. Yes, we want to be able to sit down and stand up from where our feet are. So if you need to check how far back, I was going to push my chair back a little bit, but actually where it is just perfect. It's about half a foot's length away from the back of my heels. Okay, so this time we're going to sit all the way to the chair as slowly as we can. Okay, so if your knees have been pinching at all, perhaps try your feet in a slightly different position, maybe turned out just a touch, not very much. That might help. So here, firm in the belly, firm in the buttocks. We're going to really slowly take the weight into the heels of the feet, reach the hands forward, reach the buttocks backwards, firm in the belly. So as if you were doing a downward facing dog. And then when your sit bones reach the chair, allow yourself to sit back onto the sit bones and reach the arms down to the side. Brilliant. So it's quite challenging to do it slowly, but that's okay, because we're just getting to grips with this. So we're going to come back the opposite way. So to come back the opposite way, we're reaching the arms forward. We're creating this lean from the torso forward, reaching the arms forward. When the weight is more centered over the feet, we're going to press into our feet, firm the belly, firm the buttocks, stand up. nice and slowly, and reach the arms down to the side. Let's see if we can do that 2 more times. If you've had enough, because this is a lot to do in one day, then that's okay. Just resting, watching. You get quite a lot from just visualizing yourself doing it as well. So we're going to start by reaching the arms forward, firm belly, firm buttocks, then bending the knees. Keep the torso moving a little bit forward as the weight comes back behind into the heels more than the toes. And when you feel like you can't hold it anymore, sitting back into your seat, relaxing the arms down to the side. Well done, girls. That is fantastic. And then coming the opposite way, firm belly, firm buttocks, reaching the hands forward, leaning slightly forward. So you feel the weight coming into the feet. You can feel the feet begin to help. Press down into the feet. Use those thighs to stand all the way up and release the arms down to the side. One more time if you've got it in you, but if you need to wiggle in between, that's okay. So firm belly, firm buttocks, reaching the arms forward, leaning forward as you bend the knees, take the weight into the heels, nice and slowly as you sit down, arms relaxed when you do. And all of the work with the arms helps to build these muscles in the back of the upper spine as well, upper back, sorry, as well. And then firm in the belly, reaching the hands forward, leaning forward, feel the feet, take your weight, press into your feet, activate those thigh muscles and reach the arms down to the sides. Excellent work. Give your legs a bit of a shake out. You can do that sitting or standing as you prefer. You can just give yourself a little wiggle in the wiggly bits if you need to. Excellent. Okay, so we did a side bend over the springtime where we took our weight onto one leg and bent to the side, softening the opposite knee, and then did the other side. And that's what we're going to do now to ease out some of the effort in our bodies, in the back of the body and the front of the body as well. So the feet are comfortable distance apart. We're going to take our weight onto our left leg first, lift the right heel away from the floor, and bend over to the right, reaching the left hand to the right and the right hand to the left. And then come back to the center, right heel comes down, lift the left heel and over to the opposite side. So I'm going to go from side to side, as are you. Just trying to get all of the body on the screen. A little firmness in the belly muscles, floating from side to side. And if you want to, you can float up onto your tiptoes and then take your right heel down, up onto your tiptoes, and then take your left heel down. And again, it's all good for strengthening the backs of the legs, the fronts of the legs, creating that sense of stability or balance. And it's just a really floaty. We'll do one more to each side. So we finish this time, we go to the left. And just gently coming back to center, resting the hands down to the sides, wiggling anything that needs wiggling, wiggling in the hips as well. So our final thing to do before we sit down for some more releasing practices, maybe not quite the final thing to do, but nearly the final thing to do, is a little bit of belly, what's it called? Belly dancing hips. Belly dancing hips, that's what we're doing. Sorry, please excuse me. We're going to take our hands onto the bony bits of our hips here at the front and just feeling where they are. So it doesn't matter how deep in the body they are, just feeling where they are, making sure that you have that sense of your hip corners, if that makes sense. And then we're going to try to lift the left one up and out to the left side. So imagine that this is the circle point that you're trying to draw, just drawing the left hip up and open. You can keep a little softness in this left knee. We want to keep firmness in the belly muscles. And it's like we're drawing almost like a rainbow, a sort of a rainbow or a circle with this left hip. And it's a subtle movement, it's not massive. We're going to change to the right side now. So in the center, just take a moment because we've activated just this side. Now we need to activate the other side. So thinking about this front corner of the right hip, drawing the right hip up and out to the side. So it feels like you're drawing a circle with that right hip. Firm in this center space means that we can feel those activations through the low back, sides of the body, the center of the body. Lovely. A little softness in the right knee will help as well. And then we're going to come back to center and do one and then the other. So like figure of eights. So hands onto the hips, one hip, the other hip, one hip, the other hip. Lovely. So we're trying to keep this uprightness in the center, that stability, and just lifting the heel of the right foot as you go to the right, the heel of the left foot as you go to the left. And it doesn't matter if it ends up in being a sort of a backwards and forwards circle. You can do that as well if you'd want to. But if you do it one way, you've got to do it the other, she says. I can't quite change direction. It's all good. So doing a little sway of the hips. It doesn't matter what movement you're making as long as it's a movement that feels solid and centered. When you're ready, coming back to center, and just giving your hips a little bit of a rub here, maybe round to the buttocks as well, the low back, a little bit of a rub, maybe across the belly as well. Softening the knees, wiggling anything that needs wiggling. Very good. And then we're going to come to do our hands and knees, but not on our knees, cat pose for our chair yoga. So facing your chair seat with your hands as far apart as you can make them on your chair seat. Excuse me. If you're at home, you could always use two chairs to get the hands a little bit further apart. Knees underneath the hips. A little softness in the knees, so you end up with the knees slightly in front of the hips, but the hips around about over the heels. And we're going to look forward as we open the chest and then round through the spine, chin to chest, tucking the tailbone under. Firm in your belly, soft in your knees. Inhaling, looking forward, lift your tailbone as you lift your chin forward, and exhaling, rounding through your spine, chin to chest. We'll go forwards and backwards a couple more times. Try not to dump weight into your hands. So you're using your core muscles, your buttocks, your stomach muscles, your back muscles to create lightness in the hands. And when you're ready, coming back to the center and just gently swaying from side to side. So left shoulder and left shoulder and hip towards each other, then right shoulder and hip towards each other. A little bit from side to side. When you've done side to side, I'd like you to wriggle through the whole spine in any way that feels good. Sometimes it can help to start making circles with your head and just allow your spine to follow. Little softness in your elbows, in whichever direction you're going in, going the opposite direction as well. And you hopefully feel those wriggling bits, like a cat wriggling through its spine, opening up lots of space. Then from here, we're going to do a down dog. So we step the feet a little bit further away from the chair. Leave the hands where they are, pressing down. Lengthen the chest towards the thighs or towards the floor, whichever feels good. Soft in the knees. And you can have your hands a little bit feet a little bit further away still. But if you do, just be careful not to have a sensation of tipping towards your chair. Better to keep your feet underneath the body and let the hips go backwards. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then walking towards your chair, walking your hands up the back of the chair so that you're standing tall. Excellent. So you can stay holding onto the chair that way. I'm going to turn mine around. And then just to finish our standing part of the practice, we're going to reach the left arm forward and up and round behind us. Let the chest follow, the head follow. And we're going to do this 3 more times. Left arm going around and back behind. If you want to, you can do this on your tiptoes, but you don't have to. Let's go the opposite way as well. reaching the left arm back and up and forwards. See if you can move as much of your spine with that movement as possible. If the arm being long is not useful, keep your elbow bent or keep your hand towards your chest or your shoulder. That is fine. We're doing 4 in each direction and then swapping sides. So when you're ready, reaching with the right arm up and behind and down. A little bit of firmness in the belly and the buttocks, as much as feels useful. Remember, you can change the position of your arm if you need to, going the opposite way for 4 rotations. Opening your chest. You don't need to be straight, you can have a little twist if you want to. And when you've done your 4, just resting your hands on your seat. You'll be pleased to know that we're coming to sitting now. So finding your way back into your seat, but we're going to sit down slowly. For anyone who's already sat down, you can stand up again. So reaching the arms forward, bending the knees really slowly, taking the weight into the heels and then relaxing. Whew. Now, hopefully you don't feel done in. I feel a little done in after morning practice and morning classes, but hopefully you don't feel too done in after our big strengthening practice. So we're just going to do a little bit of spiraling before we finish. So we're going to turn the right knee out to the right and the left leg can extend in front of us out to the left side. So we get this sense of open across the inside of the pelvis. We've done lots of things that are with the legs more towards each other today. So this is our counter posing. And then here, we're going to firm the belly muscles and just gently come into a bend to the right side, reaching the left fingertips away from the left toe tips, resting onto the right forearm if we would like to, and then come the opposite way. So reaching down the left leg, reaching the right arm over. So gentle sway from side to side, again, feeling that stability in the center, maybe feeling a little effort into the legs to keep the upper body nice and mobile as we are stable in the low body. Excellent. We're going to come back to center and then just bend the left knee in and turn that left knee to the floor. So we end up facing towards the right, and you can take that left knee underneath the hip or behind the hip, lengthen the left leg a little if you want to, but we're going to keep our hips basically facing towards the right. And the left knee can be further forward if it's more comfortable. And then here, we're going to keep the right hand on the right thigh for support. Make nice big circle with the left arm, going backwards to begin with again, firm in the belly, maybe firm in the buttocks here as well. And then the opposite way, that was 2 that way, we're going to do 2 the opposite way. Very good. And then we're just going to reach that arm out to the side and up and reach over to the chair back behind us. So we're really bending to the right again. Come back to the center and then with a soft left elbow, bend that left elbow towards the right knee. So it's a little fold forward and twist at the same time. Let's come back to the center. You're going to reach into that side bend. Come back to the center and do a little twist and fold. Firm in the belly. Back to the center, side bend. Back to the center, soft elbow for a twist and fold. And then untwist. Allow your left leg to join the right leg. Come all the way around to the center. You're going to take the feet wide, settle the hips back onto the seat and take a forward fold. But there's just a gentle forward fold, sliding the hands down the legs, letting the head hang towards the floor if it's comfortable doing that. Taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Then hands can come to the tops of the knees for support. Firm the belly, press into the hands, bring yourself back to upright. And just one sort of cleansing breath to realign the spine. Breathe in, take the arms out and up, reaching up, palms coming together, maybe in front of the body, and exhaling, hands down to Namaste. Brilliant. Let's do the other side. So we've got I seem to have twisted my chair a bit, sorry. Left knee pointing out to the left, right foot extended. So we're almost sideways on, slightly angled on our seats. Firm in the belly. We're going to rest the left forearm down as we reach the right arm up and over, extending the right fingertips away from the right toes. Firm belly. And then back the opposite way, reaching down the right leg, lifting the left arm up. Let's go swaying 2 more times, reaching, lengthening, maybe a little firmness into the feet, into the floor, reaching back the way. Very good. Lovely, girls. I can see lots of beautiful, graceful swaying movements on the screen. Excellent. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to slide the right knee in a little bit and then turn it to the left. So we end up more in a lunging position, and that right knee can slide back a little bit, can slide further back if you like, but don't do too much. Just do something that feels like a comfortable position for you. Here we're firm in the belly and in the buttock, and we're making big circles with the arm. And as you do that, you sort of reach behind you into a little twist. We do 2 in this direction, and we'll do 2 in the opposite direction as well. Very good. And then when we come to center, re-establishing that firmness in the feet, in the belly, in the buttocks, reach the right arm out to the right, up, and then over to the left. And then back to center, soft right elbow, draw the elbow forwards and twist the elbow towards that left knee. Press through the feet to come back to center, reaching up and over into your side bend. Coming back to center, soft elbow, pressing into the feet, reaching and folding and spiraling, elbow to knee. Back to center, reaching up, firm in the belly, firm in the buttocks for your side bend. Back to the center, soft elbow and spiraling, elbow to knee. Return to center and just relaxing the arms, bringing that right knee forward to meet the left knee. Twist on your seat, and we'll take another forward bend, so a little bit further back on the seat, feet wider if you want to. You can do it over feet narrower if you prefer. Little firmness in the belly, hands sliding forward and down over the legs, draping the body. If the feet are closer together, the chest rests on the thighs and you get a softening effect through the back. So a little bit like doing child's pose from when we remember our mat-based classes. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Then sliding the hands to the knees, pressing into the hands, firming the belly, coming back to upright, and we'll take 2 of our big deep breaths with our arms. So inhaling, arms up, lift the belly, lift the chest, look up, open that space at the front of the throat, exhaling the hands down to the sides. And this time, see if you can take your arms behind you as you go up, breathing in, arms back and up. And breathing out, arms down to the chest. We'll do 1 more just because. Breathing in, arms back and up, lifting the belly, lifting the chest, looking up, and breathing out, hands to the center of the chest. Brilliant work, girls. Now, it's going to be a shortish relaxation, but you really deserve it today. So gathering your jumpers, your blankets, support for your feet if you want it, and popping on anything that is useful. I'm a clash of purples, pinks and reds today. Sorry about that, it's probably an assault on the senses. When you're ready, coming into your relaxation posture of choice. And if you would like to, you can recline, of course, on a sofa or a bed, or if you're feeling good, on the floor. Just remember that you need to be able to get up from there as well. Okay, so settling your back into the back of your seat, making sure it feels supported. So your low back particularly, will want that to feel really comfortable. It's done a lot of work in the class. As you rest your hands onto your thighs, closing your eyes, feel the contact of your body with support. So on the soles of the feet, the backs of the thighs, the buttocks, the sit bones, perhaps parts of the back of the body as they touch your seat. And allow the body to rest down in those places, to let go of any holding, any effort, any tension, to melt like butter, surrendering into your seat. Take a deep breath in and sigh out as you exhale. Do that one more time, relaxing your face and shoulders down. Allow your breath to find its natural rhythm, falling into quietness, softening your forehead, allowing the area between the eyebrows to spread, around the eyes to release, tongue, jaw to relax. Feel a sense of letting go. Letting go of anything that causes us physical tension. The effort in our muscles releasing. Our breath relaxing. Letting go of anything that gives us a mental tension. Letting go of anger, frustration, letting go of conflict. Letting go of worry. Letting go of expectations. If you want to, for the remainder of your relaxation, you can focus each breath in, drawing in prana, vitality, and each breath out, just mentally saying, let go. Breathing in vitality, breathing out and letting go of anything you don't need, anything that no longer serves you, anything that releasing will bring you ease. Softening a little deeper with every exhalation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back into your hands by rubbing the pad of your thumb over your fingertips and wiggling your fingers, rolling your wrists. Bring your awareness back to your feet by becoming aware of the feeling of the soles of the feet on the floor and wiggling your toes, circling your ankles. When your extremities feel more awakened, take a deep breath in and stretch the arms and the legs. Maybe stretch the face of the arms. And when you're ready, you can gather yourself back into the center. Just rest your hands over your heart or in the center of your chest. And notice how differently your body feels now. Notice any areas of tension that have eased, perhaps warmth or a vibration created by the strength that we've galvanized in this class. Smile to yourself, knowing that your yoga is doing you an immense power of good. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for joining me in this practice. I hope you found it useful. Look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.